Hi, and congratulations on the purchase of your 2022 SV convenience package on the Pro 4X. This is an amazing vehicle. Nissan did a fantastic job with the redesign on this. That's why you bought this truck. It's got all kinds of features in it. I want to go back over everything with you just to make sure you're familiar with what you've got with this. So on top of your 6,500 pound towing capacity, you've got a 3.8 liter V6 with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Let's have a look at all the features that you're going to get with this as well. Okay, with this beautiful new truck, you have an 8-inch touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. AM, FM, satellite radio is going to be free for the first 3 months. After that, if you don't want it, don't do anything. It should just stop. If you do want it, it will revert back to the preview channel on channel 1. At that point, there's a toll-free number that will appear there. You can just give them a call and get everything set up for you. You've also got USB 1 and 2, which are labeled down here below. USB 1 is a Type C, USB 2 is your traditional Type A. Then we've got Bluetooth. You can see here, Apple CarPlay has been hooked up to this vehicle. Android Auto will be an option as well once it's been hooked up. As we come back at it here, we're also going to come back in to hook up a phone. You just want to go into settings, then connections, then you're going to hit add new. From there, on your phone, if need be, press yes here. On your phone, go into the settings, go into the Bluetooth settings. You're going to look for My Frontier. Once you tap on that, give it a few seconds. It will pop up with a number on your screen on your phone. Confirm that it matches the number on the screen here. Either press OK or pair. If you have an Apple phone, you'll need to press OK once after that or allow. And then on an Android phone, you'll need to allow twice. Now also, if you have an Android phone, there is one additional step that you'll need to take. If you do have a lock screen on it, you'll need to back right out to the main settings screen. And at that point, you're going to have to scroll down to Smart Lock or lock screen, and then go into Smart Lock, and then you're going to go into Trusted Devices. You're going to add a trusted device, and you're going to add My Frontier. That will allow your phone to stay connected to the vehicle after the screen has locked on it. Once that's done, we're going to come right back out. To set your clock, when the clock changes, just go into Clock, set clock manually, and you can see everything is really nice and easy to access right there. Make the change, and when you set your clock here, it also changes over here as well. So as I come back across here, I'm going to come right back out of here. I've got all of my settings right here, and my camera is just going to bring me into the display settings for it. Down below, because this is the convenience package, you do have dual climate control right here, which if I change everything right now, it's just the driver setting. If I have a passenger, all they have to do is turn their dial and everything is changed. As soon as they're out, press that and it sets back to the driver's side setting. When you find a temperature that you're comfortable with, just press auto and it will get you up or down to that temperature as fast as possible, and then do what it has to just to maintain that temperature. Down below here, I've got my heated seats on either side. I have my heated steering wheel, and I have this button here. So this is going to turn off the rear sonar and rear emergency braking to go with my backup camera. So when I have the backup camera on here, I can see I've got predictive lines. As I start backing up, there is rear sonar when anything gets within these green hash marks. Also, there is rear emergency braking, so that when I get down near the red hash marks here, if I'm getting really close, it will stop me dead in my place to avoid a collision with anything behind me. However, if I turn this button off, it will allow me to continue back, because this vehicle is equipped with a tow package, and you do want to be able to hook up that trailer or bike rack to it, making it really easy, but you don't want to be stopping with the emergency braking on the way back. So I'll turn this back on at the moment. Now we can see here also, there is a line-up line there for my tow hitch, and it moves with me with the predictive turning. So that makes that really easy. Put that back in place. Lots of pads to be able to store stuff, and they're all rubber so that it holds everything right in place and it's not all sliding around. This is a 4-wheel drive truck, so I've got 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. I can flip to 4 high on the fly up to 90 kilometers an hour, but for 4 low, I need to go into neutral, which I can see there. Push in and turn. That puts me in 4 low. It does show me over here my traction control is now off, as are a lot of my safety features. So I'm just going to push this back and put it back into the wheel for the moment. We'll put it back in park. Inside of my storage compartment here, I can see I do have a power port that I can plug into, as well as one right up here in the front. We're going to have a look at the steering column and everything that comes with that next. On my steering column here, I can see I've got cruise control, which will come on right away when I do this. But what I do want to point out is you do have adaptive cruise control. It's evident using the little icon up there. Now, if I turn this back off and I press and hold, I can see the icon changes. That's normal cruise control. It's going to go back to adaptive by just pressing it on again. That's normal. Anytime that you want just regular cruise control, just press and hold the on-off button here until you see that icon change. With the adaptive cruise control, by default, it will be set for 3 car lengths plus safe distance. This button will allow you to change that down to 2 or 1 or back up to 3. And just to give you a bit of perspective, 1 car length plus safe distance while doing 100 kilometers per hour is approximately 2.5 car lengths between you and the vehicle in front of you. So that'll give you an idea of distancing and spacing. When your cruise is on, you can just tap down to set, tap up to resume, hit cancel to knock the cruise off, or tap your brake. Or I can increase the speed by tapping up a few times or decrease it by tapping down a few times. On the left side of my wheel, my source button, it's going to change the source of my audio right from here. So I can go over to satellite, flip over to AM, back to FM, Bluetooth, USB, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Those are all options if they are connected. This button right here is going to help me go through some of these screens. We're going to come back to that and this one in just a moment. I have a volume button here, which works the exact same as the dial for my audio, making it really easy. And then right here, I've got my Bluetooth hands-free buttons. The bottom button will answer a call or hang up. My top button is going to allow me to make an outbound call. And depending on the type of phone that you have and how new, if you have an Apple phone and Siri is set up, you can access Siri just by pressing and holding this button for 2 seconds. Or if you have an Android phone, you can access the Google Assistant the exact same way. Now, back up to these buttons here. This screen that we're on right now, that is my home screen. So with this, I have my speedometer and an average speed. The next screen over, it's going to give me some gauges. So right away I can see I'm in 2-wheel drive, so 4x2. If I switch over to 4 high, I can see it locks in the 4 high. Also shows me the pitch and roll of the truck depending on where everything is sitting. So if I'm out in more of an off-road situation, I can definitely keep track of what's going on there. I've got some gauges here to be able to help with coolant temperature and my battery. I've also got oil pressure and temperature here as well. And then I've got some information here. So I have a trip odometer, total time since running since reset last, and an average fuel economy right there, which is running astronomically high, but it's because we've only gone 27.8 kilometers in 4 hours and 52 minutes. So we're going to press and hold the enter button here and reset this to start from right now. Next screen over is our average fuel economy, which we've just reset. This screen will show me my audio, what's going on with it. Now, you are equipped with all of Nissan's safety features. So that means that you have automatic emergency braking with forward collision warning in the front. Your forward collision warning is something you will experience. You'll be driving along and perhaps the car in front of you is turning onto a side road. The radar in the front of your Frontier gets within range and recognizes you're now closing that gap really fast. Inside the vehicle, it will beep at you and it will flash a warning on the screen here, either in yellow or red, depending on how close you are and how imminent a collision may be. And it's just letting you know that if circumstances do not change, there is a risk of a collision. Your automatic emergency braking would be the next step in that. So you're driving along, the car in front of you slams on the brakes. Inside the Frontier here, it's going to beep at you. It's going to flash that warning. The gas pedal is going to push back against your foot a little bit, but you're not going to feel it because your foot's going to be going to the brake. And if it doesn't get there fast enough, it will start to apply the brakes for you to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. That system will turn off completely the moment your foot is on the brake because you're in total control of the vehicle. Your pedestrian detection works the exact same way, except it's going to happen even faster. And that's because the car in front of you that slammed on the brakes still has some forward momentum, while the person that walked out in front of you does not. Hopefully, we're going to avoid giving them any forward momentum. You also have lane departure warning with this. So your lane departure warning is going to work at 60 kilometers an hour or higher. When you start to drift out of your lane inside the Frontier here, it will vibrate your steering wheel just to let you know you are drifting out of your lane. However, if you signal beforehand, it knows you're purposely moving out of your lane and it will not vibrate the wheel. And nothing else happens, you carry on. Blind spot indicators on this vehicle are going to be out here on the mirrors. I can see the indicators right here. There's one on each of my side mirrors. That will light up and stay lit up, a dull orange, as long as part of a vehicle is in my blind spot. And while it's lit up, so if my driver's side is lit up and while it's lit up, I signal to go left, inside the vehicle here, it's going to beep at me to tell me, hey, look over my shoulder, there is something in my blind spot. And the indicator right there is going to be flashing for the exact same reason. You've got rear cross traffic detection for when you're backing out of a parking spot. If there's anything coming at you within approximately 2 car lengths inside the Frontier, it's going to let you know. It's going to beep at you, and it's going to be flashing the blind spot indicator on whichever side of the vehicle the oncoming traffic is approaching you from. You've got rear sonar and rear emergency braking, which we've already talked about as well with the backup camera. Our next screen over here is our tire pressure. You can see right here, pressure's running a little high on this one. We are getting into some colder temperatures, and we typically do this as we get closer to colder temperatures. In the center axles there, it says that it should be set for 35 on each vehicle. However, we're set anywhere from 39 to 41 on all 4 tires. You are allowed a 6 PSI variance before any warnings will come up. With this system, you have a system that will tell you when the tires are low. No matter what screen you're on, it will pop up with a warning. It'll tell you which tire is low and what the exact pressure is. From there, when you go to somewhere that has an air pump, just leave it running while you start putting air in the tires. And when you start to put the air in, once it gets up to the proper pressure, the horn's going to beep to tell you to stop. There is an upper limit to this as well, so that if for some reason you kept putting air in or went to the wrong tire, once you get to that upper limit, it's going to beep the horn 3 times in a row. Please stop putting air in your tire at that point. Now, you could do the same thing to the other 3 tires so that they're all the same, or the preferred method would be to start letting air back out of that tire. Once it gets back down to the proper pressure, then the horn would beep once to tell you to stop. That is your easy fill tire alert system. And the last thing here is our settings. So we're going to go in and we're going to make sure the settings are set how I typically set them. So we're going to turn on our lane departure warning. We're going to make sure the blind spot indicator's on. Emergency brakes should be on for front and rear. These are all on. That's your parking aids. That's a good thing. And then we're back to the top. We're going to come down to meter settings and main menu. And we're going to go down. And we're going to see what's selected and what's not. Everything is selected, so we're good there. We'll back out. Vehicle settings. I want to come down to locking. And it's already set for shift to park. And wipers, I want to turn on the speed dependent so that when it's on intermittent, it is speed dependent. And then for maintenance, I'm going to go into oil and filter and make sure this is set for 8,000 kilometers, as your oil changes are every 8,000 kilometers or every 6 months, whichever hits first. That's the settings I typically set, and it puts us back at the beginning. Down here on the side, you do have some buttons. The very first one is tow mode. This you want to turn on whenever you're going to tow anything with your truck. Your towing capacity is 6,490 pounds, but you do want to make sure that this is turned on. We have the brightness for our dash when the lights are on. You've also got a trip odometer, which, as I can see right now, is set at 24.5. I'm going to press and hold that to reset. Press again to get to trip B, and I'm going to reset that. Then I'm just going to press once to get back to the odometer. Down here, this will turn off any of the beeping to go with your lane departure warning or your blind spot indicators. Now, what you're going to notice as we move through this truck, in the bed of the truck, there is a plug back there, and this will turn on the power to that. So we want to make sure that you get that all set. Cargo lamp is right here for the bed of your truck. Hill descent assist. When I turn this on, I can see up here. That's going to help me from picking up a pile of speed coming down a hill, just to make sure it's a little bit easier on your brakes. And down below here, I can turn off my traction control with this. I really don't want to do that because it is a four-wheel drive truck. I have my hood release right here, my parking brake right down below, and right here is the lever to be able to maneuver my steering wheel. Now, because this is the king cab, it does have the half back door. So I'm going to open this front door, and then I'm just going to pull the lever here, and I can see I do technically have two seats back here with seat belts. Everything is set back here. I do have a plug back here as well. You do have to use the switch up front to turn the power on for that. But as I mentioned, I do have the seats here, and I've got some storage in underneath, and these will come out simply by releasing these here. I'm going to move into the very back here, where we can see I've got a spray-in box liner, and on the convenience package I've also got the Utilitrack system, which will come with 4 heavy-duty cleats. I've got LED bed lights in the box to help light everything up, along with some tie-down hooks. And then on the back, my backup camera is right here. I've got a fully wired in class 7 tow hitch, or class 4, sorry. And then the dampener on the tailgate itself, and really easy to close up. So lots of options here. We're gonna hop back in. So a couple final things here. Your power seat, your front driver's seat is a power driver's seat. There is an intelligent key system on this. So you'll notice that there are buttons on each of the front handles. As long as you have the key fob on you, because it needs to be within approximately 3 feet of the door that you're at, one push will unlock just the door that you're at. A second push unlocks the whole thing. This makes it really easy to get in or out. It is a push button ignition as well. So unless you're going to use the remote start, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, there's really no need to take your key out of your pocket. Now, as I mentioned, this is equipped with remote start. So on the bottom here, I have a panic button, or the find my car in a parking lot button. I have my unlock, lock, and to work your remote start, you're going to press lock, and then you're going to press and hold this top button here. That will remote start your Frontier from up to 200 feet away. From there, it's going to run for up to 10 minutes. Now, I mentioned that you press lock and then hit this. You really should hit the lock button twice and then press and hold this, just for accuracy and consistency. And then from there, if you don't get in within 10 minutes, the vehicle will turn back off. You can remote start it twice without ever getting in, or once with one extension, which you just do the exact same thing that you did to remote start it. And that will add an additional 10 minutes to the count from wherever you're at in the count. Now, because it's a key fob, there is a battery in your key fob, and that battery is usually good for 2 to 4 years. Your very first indication that the battery is getting low is you will hop into the vehicle, you'll go to start it, and it'll pop up and say something like incorrect key ID. Don't worry, everything's fine, you still got your key. You just need to let the message go away, then do it again. If your battery in your key fob is dead, flip it over, turn the switch and pull the key out. There is a keyhole on the driver's side door that will get you into the vehicle. Once you're in, with your foot on the brake, use your key fob to push your start button to turn on the vehicle. Even though the battery in the key fob might be dead, it will still start. To switch your battery, pop this out and then get a flathead into this little recessed area here or over here. Give it a twist. This will pop open. On the inside of this, it's going to have a number on the battery and marked on the inside of the casing. It's typically 2025 or 2032 with a CR in front of it. That is your battery size. Make sure you get the same size battery as what's in it. Put the new battery in, clip it back together, and then simply put the key back in place here. and you're good to go. There's no reprogramming or anything needs to be done. Congratulations again on your 2022 Nissan Frontier SV Convenience Package. This is an unbelievable truck, lots of fun to drive, no shortage of power on it, great towing capacity, and very comfortable. I hope you're enjoying your experience with your truck. If you still have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can call, text, email, or stop in to O'Regan's Nissan at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Hope to see you when you're in for your regular maintenance.